Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. Today I've got two replays in the American Tier 8 Premium Medium Tank, the M46 Patton KR. Now if you do like the video, as always don't forget to like and subscribe down below as it really does help out the channel. And yes, the M46 Patton KR. This tank used to be just a worse version of the Deathstalker, because this tank is pretty old, to be fair. In fact, it's very old, and it was kind of just like a slightly worse tech tree Pershing, right, as a premium tank when it came out. And then they brought out the Deathstalker, which came out a couple of months later, and the Deathstalker was just basically this exact tank with a different skin, but actually better in terms of its gun statistics and its DPM, which was quite nice. That Deathstalker actually had more of the DPM statistics of the stock 90mm of the M26 Pershing that you could get on the tech tree one, which meant it fired really quickly, but it just had worse pen and stuff like that. And then that got buffed, and the M46 Patton was still, well, the M46 Patton KR was still sat there going, I just want to be loved, you know, and we all want to be loved, right? And the M46 Patton just needed a bit of love, and they buffed it quite a while ago now. It was a wee while ago, and these two replays are actually from around that time. I always meant to make the video on it, I just never did for some reason. So yeah. And the M46 Patton KR got buffed up. It got buffed to pretty much what the Deathstalker is, except for actually, its accuracy during movement and rotation is actually better than the Deathstalker, which is quite handy. So this tank goes 48.3 kilometers an hour, which is bang average for a medium tank. It really is. It's bang average. Around 50 kilometers an hour is a bang average mobility for a medium tank. So 48 is actually probably just a little bit below average, really. You got 810 horsepower, which gives you an 18.41 horsepower per ton ratio, which means you do hit your top speed very, very easily. So if you were to run something like the traction system, you will hit that top speed of 48 quite easily. Or, you know, if you run the traction system, you'll go at 52 instead, and you will hit that. You've got pretty good ground resistances. You've got a 40 degrees a second hull rotation speed, which is pretty quick. You've got 499 meters view range with the build that I have, which is great. It means you'll get a lot of assistance damage, and especially in a game like this where we'll need the view range to be able to spot the campers, it's very, very handy. You've got also 328 meters of still concealment with the build that I have, which is pretty good as well. Well, it's not pretty good, but it's alright. It's alright for a medium tank like this. You've got a 43.44 degree a second turret rotation speed, which is faster than your hull rotation, which is good. It means the turret goes faster than the hull. You've got a 0.29 accuracy during at 100 meters with the build that I've got as well, which is fairly accurate, with a 1.19 accuracy during movement, which is phenomenal, and a 0.61 accuracy during movement, rotation, which is also pretty damn good. 10 degrees of gun depression mean this tank is very, very good on a ridgeline, just like the M26 Pershing, just like the M46, just like the Deathstalker. It's very, very good on a ridgeline. It doesn't really have turret armor that will guaranteed bounce anything, but it does have enough that it could ricochet shots. But never, never try and rely on the turret armor of this vehicle, because it will get penned if you do try that. But if you're bobbing up and down on a ridgeline, being hulled down, limiting as much of the tank that the enemy can see of you, you might get yourself a lucky ricochet, which can be handy. It's not like pure paper in that regard. You've got a 4.96 second reload with this vehicle, which is pretty quick, which is 2.9k DPM, which is really nice for a Tier 8 medium tank. And again, if you boost from food, it gets even faster, and it does feel like it fires very, very quickly. A 2.3 second aim time as well means that if your gun or your aim circle does bloom out quite a bit, it does feel like it takes a bit to get it aimed in, but at the same time, it very rarely blooms out because your accuracy during rotation and movement is just that good. You've got 221 standard pen on the AP, with 268 penetration on the premium APCR, which, again, is very, very good for a Tier 8 medium tank, and it'll pen most things you're going to face, except for maybe some of the Tier 10 super heavies, with 975 meters a second shell velocity on the standard AP, with 1290 meters a second shell velocity on the premium APCR, which is fairly standard for these 90mm guns that you get on some of these American medium tanks. And also, this tank does have 158% silver bonus, by the way, which means it does make good silver. So what do I run in terms of recruit and equipment on the old M46 Patton KR? Well, I run Born Leader, Rapid Reload, Sixth Sense, Trap Mechanic, Situational Awareness, Steady Aim, Snapshot, Run and Gun, Camouflage Expertise, the Advanced Loader, the Gun Stabilizer, and Optics. Optics to be able to spot for myself and have that 499 meters of view range, which will push up my assistance damage. The Gun Stabilizer to get that phenomenal accuracy during movement and rotation, because if you don't make that aim circle basically never bloom out, you do feel the pain of that aim time at 2.3 with it fully kitted out. Then we run all three gun perks again to make this gun as good as it humanly can be. We run the Advanced Loader to get the best out of the DPM. and the camouflage expertise just to have a slightly better camo, just so that we can stay a bit stealthy at times in the M46 Patton KR, especially in bush locations, so that, you know, we can spend a bit longer getting this good DPM out without taking a hit sometimes. Depends on the map, depends on where we are, but it can come in handy sometimes for us. So, you can see we're right here on this map, which is Vineyards. We've just... That was a high roll. We'll take that, because we only have 240 alpha. But we just finished off the A43 Black Prince for our top gun. 4.1k damage and 900 assistance. And there's only 2 tanks left on the enemy team. We know where the RT is, because we just saw the shell take out the M449. And there's the Demolisher. And I think, okay, I've got a heavy tank with me. He'll come in and help shoot it. But unfortunately, he is actually going over the hill after the artillery. So I realise, oh boy, I'm boned. We're doomed. And we get shut down by that Demolisher, who then gets shut down pretty shortly afterwards. But we finished with the victory. Top of the team, 6 kills, 4.3k damage, 1,278 assistance with 152,000 silver, which is nice. Ace Tanker, the high caliber, the top gun, with that 2,190 base XP. A pretty damn good game there for the M46 Patton KR. But we were very, very top tier, which is always nice to take advantage of when it gives it you. But we're on to the second replay. In the second replay, again, we are on this map, which is Mountain Pass. And on Mountain Pass, we're in a very bad matchup. We're in very, very tier 10 game. As you can see, there's a chieftain running around in front of us. And enough of our team is actually going to the 1-2 line. So we're just going to go join them and try and get Hull down at the position at HJ3-2 in that little area there. Because if we can help these guys out as much as possible, we might be able to progress down the flank. And we can, again, go hull down, limit the amount of our hull that the enemy team can see. They'll only be able to see our turret, which, in a tier 10 game, they will go straight through the turret front because they just have that kind of pen that they will. But you never know. You could ricochet, just because of the angles on the turret front, you could ricochet things, okay? So it's one of those things that you don't want to be putting yourself in a situation where they're shooting at you, but at the same time, you're just making it more likely that you could bounce something and have a better time. But you can see we end up overextending on the AMX 1390, which means he gets 2 shots into us on the move, but we get 2 shots into him. Could have done better there, realistically, because we didn't have to go all the way out to shoot that AMX 1390. We could have, again, stuck to that corner quite tightly, and he would have only had a turret to shoot at, and while he was auto-aiming at us while it was running away, there's a likelihood he could have actually ricocheted off our turret front. Especially if he's only got, like, 205 pen or something like that on the 1390 as well, which means that, you know, the likelihood is he's not guaranteed to actually go through our turret front. That shell just landed in front, well, just went in front of the MX 1390. We led it a little bit too well, which meant we missed. But we do get a nice shot there into the T42, who is overexposing his turret. Because if we go for the cupolas on the T42, we can actually pen that. But their 268 version 5 is crossing the bridge, so we're just going to punish that if we can. If their team do decide to cross that bridge and go after our guys at C3, C4, we can quite easily just put some farming shots into them. Again, go for the shot into the T42 because no one else is crossing from their team yet. But sadly, our .29 accuracy isn't quite finding the target. Something from over there, they are shooting my M46 Patton, not M46, my M48 Patton right now. I'm like, how are they not spotted? They must be in render range, right? That's how they're finding shots at us. And there we go. It's a Progetto 66. He just wasn't spotted because the TD hadn't pulled out. But we are starting to get some shots towards this guy if we can. But we only got 1 penetration in, sadly. I mean, with the 221 penetration at that distance, the likelihood is we might have probably bounced on the Progetto 66 there from the front. But, yeah, we ended up missing that. But we decided, okay, you know what? If we're not really helping the team right now, we need to move forward again and put our gun in the game. There's a T58 Heavy, which we've loaded Premium for because our 221 pen might struggle with a T58 Heavy. So if we load 268 Premium pen, yeah, we are going to go through that. And this is where we get the better shell velocity as well, which is quite nice. The NM116 has been cheeky. He thought he might be able to out-DPM me and get away with it. But, well, he can out-DPM me. I also have a very good reload, which means he didn't manage to actually pull back and get safe before I shot him down, which is always nice to do. But the T58 is unfortunately shut down my friend, and I'm trying my best to get more shots into the side of his turret because 268 pen, like I say, will go through the turret cheeks of the T58. I mean, 221 pen will go through the turret cheeks of the T58, but it's not guaranteed. So we may as well load the guaranteed rounds, and therefore we'll be okay. The other T58 is poking out from the bridge side, so I decided, you know what? Not T58, T57 Heavy, sorry. I don't want to go face a T-57 Heavy, especially with its mad DPM on that bridge. And in fact, I think it just got deleted by the Chieftain. I didn't really want to go face that because, well, he could just laugh at me, might bounce on his turret, and he will just load very, very quickly and delete me. So we come after this VK4502A, who, again, is a tier 8, so we can go through his lower plate, and we can try and side scrape him, because, again, depending what we're facing against, and as long as we're only giving our side, and we're not giving, overextending and giving too much, like we just did, we can side scrape in the M46 Patton KR, because we do have 76mm of side armor, which means there's pretty much nothing that can actually overmatch our side. But again, it's about not overexposing, not overextending, and making sure that you're just waiting for them to bounce off your side, and then you can go for the shot. We overextended again. We went for the shots on the VK4528 a bit too impatiently, and that gave them the shot at our front, which meant they penned us. So we get a shot into the back chat 1558, but I want to go after this Progetto 66, who is attacking my heavy tank, because I can create a crossfire, get rid of this tier 9 heavy tank if I can, and there we go. We finish off that Italian tier 9 heavy tank. I just wanted to help my heavy tank out if I could. I could have literally just gone after the Batchat 15558, but I didn't want to do that. And once again, we could shoot the 15558, but we may as well shoot at the tank that has an actual gun and has the mobility. So we put a shot into the side of the T100LT, and at this point I go, oh boy, he could actually kill me. Thankfully he misses. We put a shot into his upper plate, which damages his ammo rack, which means we'll reload first, and good night, Mr. T100LT. We finished the game with the victory. 4 kills, 4,093 damage, 113 assistance, again a decent amount of silver. Ace tanker with the 1998 base XP. A pretty damn nice game there for the M46 Patton KR in a pretty poor matchup, and we'll take those every day. It's always nice to have a good game in a tier 8 and a tier 10 lobby. So as always, everybody, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time.
A great success.